There's a moment when you look around at the world and feel disconnected. Maybe it's the sameness of everything, the push for conformity, the superficiality in how we communicate, or the way deeper questions about meaning and purpose seem to shrink under the noise of mass culture. It's as if the world is losing its individuality, its soul. Have you felt it? That nagging discomfort, like you're meant for more than this cookie cutter existence? Here's the thing. The discomfort might be your wake-up call. I'm Mark Roach, and this is Transcendent, my platform dedicated to peeling back the layers of what holds you back and helping you connect with your own luminosity, your unique essence. I spent a lifetime walking non-traditional paths, from the highs most people dream of to the depths that they wouldn't dare confront. My life has been one long experiment in seeking truth. I've studied with mystics, worked alongside extraordinary minds in business and mentoring, and faced many of my own hurdles, including a deep imprint of complex PTSD. I'm not standing here with all the answers, but I can tell you this. With every challenge I've faced, I've found clarity and resilience coming from turning inward, from finding a thread that's ours alone to follow. Maurice Nicoll, in his work inspired by Gurdjieff and Ouspensky, once wrote something that stayed with me. He said, "Man is an experiment on this earth, an experiment in self-evolution." Simple enough, right? But then he hit us with the sobering follow-up. Nicoll warned that as many such experiments in humanity's history have been failures. And here's what's startling about that thought. We are not entitled to success. He pointed to the ants and the as a cautionary tale. To survive, they gave up their individuality. They became efficient, mechanical, and hive-minded, sacrificing everything that made them unique. Their wings were discarded and their autonomy erased, until the only thing left was a collective machine. Sound familiar? It's easy to dismiss when it's ants, but what if, in our modern lives, we're walking down the same path? We sacrifice parts of ourselves for security, belonging, or simply because it's easier not to think too much. Little by little, we risk becoming drone-like. Nicoll warned that this state-controlled existence, where we're told not just what to do, but what to think and feel, erodes our freedom under the guise of progress. The experiment of human individuality, it begins to fail. But before you despair, remember this isn't the only story. There's another path. Socrates believed that most humans become lost in outward distractions. We fill our lives with possessions, power struggles, and hollow goals. But in doing so, we lose contact with the soul. What's the soul? According to Nicoll, it's not some intangible, mystical thing. It's part of you that connects you to something larger, something more meaningful than the shallow offerings of the outer world. The soul doesn't care about keeping up appearances or fitting into tiny models or molds. Its calling is higher, deeper, and entirely yours. The challenge then is this. Can you turn inward? Can you detach from the machinery of conformity long enough to remember what it feels like to think and feel yourself, for yourself? Real individuality isn't rebellion for rebellion's sake. It's not about being different to stand out. It's about reconnecting with the essence of who you are, independent of what life or society has told you to be. Maurice Nicoll called this the work. And here's where things get uncomfortable. The work requires effort. It demands honesty, and it's not enough just to read this quote and nod along. It's not enough to agree in theory. You have to do the hard thing. That means looking at your patterns, your choices, your beliefs, and asking, whose voice is this? Where did this idea come from? Is it helping me grow, or is it keeping me asleep? Nicoll said something that stays with me, particularly when things get difficult. He wrote, "Say to yourself, I am an experiment. Just those 4 words crush the illusions that we cling to about control or certainty. Saying it aloud, you'll notice resistance rearing up, that voice saying, no, 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 this isn't true. That resistance is your teacher. It's part of what's keeping you small, protecting you from discomfort, but locking you away in the process. Real freedom comes in identifying that resistance and stepping through it anyway. The world doesn't want you to wake up. Waking up is disruptive. It makes you impossible to manage, impossible to fit into neat categories. But waking up, that's where the real richness lies. It's where true self-evolution begins. Nicole explains that the work isn't about proving yourself to the world. Or in meeting ready-made definitions of success. It's about peeling back those layers that have been poisoning your essence. It's about becoming real. Here's what's wild about the experiment that we call life. You think it's about grand gestures, flashy accomplishments, or success stories, but it's not. The revolution starts small. It starts in choosing not to react the ways that you always have. It's in resisting the pull towards sameness and scarcity thinking. It's in cultivating a quiet understanding that even if you are small, you are not insignificant. Nicole emphasized this humility. He recounts words from Ouspensky saying, "We are experiments of very little importance. This earth is very small, and we are smaller." At first, that seems like a blow to the ego, right? But then you sit with it, and you feel the freedom that it gives you. You don't have to bend under the weight of the world's expectations. All you have to do is your bit. You're part of the experiment. When we lean into curiosity instead of fear, humility instead of perfection, the whole picture shifts. Sometimes the simplest pivot in attitude can bring you into an entirely new relationship with your life. What once felt overwhelming gets smaller, and the things that matter, they get clearer, sharper. Whether it's reconnecting with a passion you set aside, challenging a belief you never questioned, or having the courage to stand alone in truth, add up to something monumental. This is what it means to wake up, to resist the pull towards sameness and move towards authenticity. It's not easy and it's not quick, but every small, deliberate choice you make towards your own evolution moves you closer to uncovering the unique power and meaning that your life holds. I'm Mark Roach. This is Transcendent, wishing you all the best.